Hello guys, this is what I'm gonna be running at a Ultimate 32. Last season I finished number 177, which is pretty good considering like top 6000 TCP. Was like 136 the highest or something like this, 138. So in the first rule, you have special abilities cost more ability energy, and special and ultimate abilities cost less. So ultimate abilities, you have characters like Mephisto or Super Scroll that will have their ultimate, or even Thanos Endgame, that you want them to ult faster. And you have characters like Nightcrawler or Odin that you prefer to start with their special, and they're not the best room for them. I have this theme because you can beat, generally speaking, most Mephisto, even with Kahori and some hybrid teams, using what I have here, the first save team. Because with Thanos, you go first with Scroll, you put an exposed, you hit it again, and then Thanos Endgame opens with his ultimate. It clears the buff from Mephisto, and because you have a Gladiator, Apocalypse, and Super Scroll cannot gain exposed, so they take the remitter, both Super Scroll with his passive and Apocalypse with, when he does his ultimate, he can use his empowered punch immediately. You also have Thanos doing a lot of damage, and also when he drops under 50%, he can clear buffs again. Gladiator protects them somewhat. Gore removes the battlefield effect from Mephisto, so now they can get Terminator Rewind by, for example, a Super Scroll special after a Gore has used his ultimate, and they can get trauma. So yeah, this beats almost like every team. You should be in room number 1, where you also had the extra damage from Thanos Endgame as a raider, his passive drop. But it also worked in many other rooms. So here you want to stop that. You have Super Scroll that you have a Black Knight that counters Super Scroll, because he will be pinging him back, and maybe he will kill him. You have also this room benefits basically everyone that I brought here, especially Shadow King, because, well, let's start with Kahori, because Kahori is a menace, and I'm very close to having her at least 1 diamond. Kahori will open with her ultimate. Okay, so you have this here, -4 energy, so it's every second turn. So she will gain on spawn 200 speed bar. Attack, gain another 100 speed bar. A basic, then another 100 speed bar, then basic, and then she'll be ready to use her she will be very close to use her special on her next turn. Also, she will be ulting all the time. This will be putting out exposed. So, yeah. Maybe not on Thanos Endgame, on if there's a Gladiator there, but in many other matchups. And you have this synergizing with Shadow King, because Shadow King, when someone, an ally of his, does an ultimate ability, he will attack, still 5% damage of the health, and gain 15% speed bar and clear 1 negative effect. So you have Kahori starting ulting like 2 times, then Shadow King already will get a 30% speed bar and will ping the opponent down. Shadow King will open with his ultimate, which clears drama and does very decent damage and heals his team, and will ping again, gain more speed bar. So there is a great synergy here. Also, you cannot sack this room because Mephisto ultimate will be very close and Kahori ultimate will go off all the time. You have Ares there, so you keep Apocalypse or offense that removes safeguard on spawn. So if you go there with the Gladiator team, then Kahori with her basic, because he will not have safeguard anymore, with her basic will strip his buffs and then ult somewhere else and maybe try to kill them and put expose, or at least try to kill other people, not to get stuck behind a Gladiator. Ares and Black Knight there will ult every turn, which sounds fun. Probably they're not gonna take too many turns, but Black Knight's ultimate is nice. It's 30% of his health, so it doesn't matter too much on newer teams like Night Stalkers that I have here. It does very little damage to them because they have bigger stats. But he's there to ping a super scroll down, to protect with a like taunt on spawn, having a lot of resistance. You cannot go immediately after like Kahori or Mephisto. Also, the multi every turn will give speed bar to Shadow King if they go. You have Aris that puts out an ability block and a yeah. So he puts an ability block to 3 people, I think. And hits multiple times. It's unavoidable. But mostly he's there to stop a safeguard on spawn, and so Kahori can flip stuff, and yeah. So it's basically also maybe Black Knight will absorb an Apocalypse empowered punch. As I said, because they have very low cooldowns, Mephisto will his ultimates will be very close to each other, so it's not very effective to try to sack this room. Same as Kahori, you bet a lot on Shadow King gaining speed bar and pinging and stuff. Now that we have less rooms, you don't get too much of an advantage putting him in a different room, and yeah, you want to have a very strong defense that may hold. Room number 2 is basically a buff to Immortal X-Men, maybe to very beginner players try to throw together like Immortal and Uncanny. Will this be a thing? I don't think so. Or do something with like the Uncanny Avengers, but generally speaking, you can use like Immortal X-Men on offense because they have offensive tags, and let's show like Immortal X-Men. It's her Immortal X-Men. So most they take many stuff for offense. I think it's here. Yeah, if she has 4, the opponents cannot start with special, and she will stop them getting speed bar. Many people here don't do too much. Like Cable is kinda okay. He gives them a little bit of speed bar on spawn, but he's kinda very slow and doesn't do too much here. Yes, he has stats that if he goes, he does decent damage and does do a Terminator Rewind. But and Beast doesn't really do anything. Yes, he cleanses, but he's not that great here. doesn't even get speed bar when somebody drops. He's like, yeah. Storm is basically the heart and soul of the team, doing a lot of damage. Zinga with her passive stopping speed bar, and that's basically it. Polaris does do damage, but doesn't do many great things mechanically. So you can remove a couple of these pieces, maybe throw in some other X-Men people. So maybe you can start with Nightcrawler, that will stop the opponent will still not gain speed bar, but he spawns with a speed up on spawn, and will put a stun there if it's not resisted, and give speed bar to all the X-Men, so Storm can start with a special and ult faster. Maybe you throw someone else like a Gambit there. They have some buffs for X-Men, and he pings and will give them speed up and stuff. Or like a Rogue you can put in there, because she will taunt at least while try to protect them. Try to see if there's anything, but it's mostly unlimited. If she goes off, she can at least protect them. So you have some options offensively, so you are not stuck with like Cable and Beast. I think you want to keep Polaris because it does damage. So you have a team here that the Unlimited will probably not kill. So even Odin, now that he will start with his will not start with his special. They don't rely on speed bar, and Captain Britain protects them a lot. I believe that if Immortal X-Men go in there, that Odin, because he also cannot get Termite Rewind, for example, like with a Rogue, if you throw like Rogue, Nightcrawler, and Nightcrawler goes first. So even if he starts with his basic, he will ping them down. Weaver is there to, if there is if they try to go in with like an Infinity Watch to kill a Captain Britain, now they can't, because now Weaver will go, he's faster, has more speed than Moondragon, so Moondragon special is not unavoidable, so you cannot. She will miss if she tries to kill with her special Captain Britain. Actually, I haven't done this matchup to see how this will go. Like if you go with Immortal against like an Odin, because he will not start with his basic. He will start with his basic and not with his ultimate. I'm assuming that they don't have what it takes. They don't have enough damage, they don't have enough control. Yes, you can summon someone, but not Odin. With Storm, also they can speed up on spawn. The Illuminati, so probably they can go before Storm and try to stun her. Yeah, it's basically like a team that this is a room that doesn't helps counter them, doesn't buff them either. But if anything that you put in here will be easy for Immortal X-Men to beat, it will be even easier. So you put something in there that is not Immortal X-Men aren't able to beat them, and yeah. So I cannot see any like X-Men hybrid that can take out this team, even if it's double sacked. I don't imagine that this will work. they have some unavoidable attacks, but I think even against this team, Weaver will create a problem. You don't really need her on offense, and because you can stop like the Infinity Watch counter, because a Moondragon has great stats, and she can, with her special that also does percentage damage, and then you have her striker attack that does 20% of her max health. 20% of her max health is a lot compared to a Captain Britain's. Yeah. I think it's also 5%. Yeah. In her ice attack. So you want to stop this. And I number 3, I just threw Night Stalkers. I think we will have a lot of offensive options besides that. Like you have this team, the first, you have Old Man Logan, you have Cabal, you have a Superior 6, you have Immortal. You have many options that you can play around with. I don't think I would use this team, so this is one of the few teams that actually can create some problems, I feel like, because they have new stats. Maybe they can kill some people. I hope I get to have them at the Diamonds, but maybe I will not be ready. And I originally thought Dormammu in there, but Dormammu dies very quickly. Also, this room will give them max barrier, will barrier them on spawn, will give them more damage, and when someone dies, they will barrier themselves again. Blade with more damage will be very nice. This is a team that has a lot of damage, a lot of survivability, and I threw in here a Scientist Supreme, because we're not using Orcus anyway, to stop Cabal, because Scientist Supreme goes and maybe some people will not think about this, on spawns against speed bar. This doesn't stop before Cabal's passive with Iron Patriot kicks in, because Miss Marvel Highlight also gets her speed bar and tries to be annoying to them. This triggers after other on spawn passive. When he puts a vulnerable, and when people have vulnerable, they cannot feel speed bar for themselves or allies. So Silent Suppression will go very fast. With this, when she does her ultimate, it clears 2 vulnerables from on self and all allies. So she will clear the vulnerables from Iron Patriot. I think it's 1, but it's not 3. Definitely it's not 3. Patriot. Yeah, it's 1. She clears 2, so they don't have any vulnerables left. Also, not only this, she will put to everyone but Man-Thing, because Man-Thing is a sponge with immunity. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing in this situation, probably a bad thing. She will put out slow and offense down, defense down to them. And you take advantage of why this team, why Night Stalkers work so great in Crucible and War against Orcus. Because you have a Blade's passive. At the end of any turn, flip slow and offense down on 2 random Night Stalker allies or self that have slow or offense down. So you will have here a Giant Supreme going first, ulting, clearing the vulnerables on. Do they even get speed bar? I don't think they get speed bar. It doesn't change too much on that. But you, in any case, you will go first with the Giant Supreme. She puts out the slows and the offense down. I think after her turn, it will still count and she will flip something, but also maybe the opponents will go. A Blade will immediately flip those on 2 out of 3, so maybe Agatha or himself or a Oath. 2 of the 3, probably after the Sun Supreme turn, will already have speed up and offense up. After someone else goes, then maybe Agatha will have it again. So you have those 3 that start with a very strong ultimate, basically having speed up on spawn. You have also one reason I threw inside Supremacy has more stats. At minimum, she will take more turns to be beaten, and it's an efficiency game. Crucible, she will throw heals and maybe keep her team alive, maybe with a new stats and 100% extra damage. Her basic king will do something. And she has a chance of reviving, so this can be very annoying because people will potentially die, then your team will get a barrier again, and then she will revive them, and you can mess around with that. You have the 3 non-man-thing Night Stalkers that will get speed up and offense up basically very quickly by Scientist Supreme. Then they can go before someone else and kill them or do a lot of damage, and the second or the third person will kill them. Worst case, like you get speed up on someone, on 2 of the members. This person goes, flips the slow to speed up to on the third person. You have all 3 going very quickly. Yeah. Having 100% more damage, they do crazy damage already as it is. Blade also does percentage damage on his ultimates and puts out blinds. Scientist Supreme has the chance of reviving them. If you are like, because they have newer stats, it will take you a little bit of time, and you have a ton on spawn that protects them a little bit. So maybe they will take some time to kill like a Blade, but it's not a perma-kill. Scientist Supreme may revive him, Blade can go again. This can mess around a little bit. At minimum, will take more turns because it's a tankier team, and with newer stats. At best, maybe they can trip some people around, maybe they are not used to, maybe they will not consider like how fast Blade will go because he will have a like almost like a speed up on spawn in some way of looking out at it, in how this plays out. I don't know if this will be a thing or not, but this is probably like if you throw Odin and Mephisto on 2 teams, the third team will probably be easily beaten. So maybe this can create some problems. Like, could they mess with like an Immortal X-Men? Probably many people will try to use Immortal X-Men anyways at the beginning on stage 2, maybe it's a cleanup. Maybe it will work, I don't think so. But I believe they will go, but you don't have the speed up on spawn because Science Supreme will not get it. So probably like Storm will stun them, and but it will stop like a Cabal. It will require something bigger. It will probably stop like a Superior 6. I don't think something like this will work. So if you need to go in here like with an Immortal X-Men, then you don't have them for cleanup from room number 1. Let's see how it goes, and maybe we will change it around again. This is my original plan.